Now that I'm sure you're all pros at making good sounds on your reed and articulating and forming perfect hand position, we finally get to the next step, which I'm sure you've all been waiting for, which is finally playing notes and making sound on the oboe. So I hope your reed's been soaking that 2 to 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and grab it out of water, and then we're gonna cover how to put it in the oboe and get everything ready to make some first notes. So first up, we're gonna grab our reed. Usually when I'm putting the reed in the oboe, my thread has a little crossover on it, and usually I have that facing me when I play. It only matters if the reed's made in a certain way, but usually you want the same side facing you all the time. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take the cork end and you're gonna put it in the top of your oboe, and you're going to push it down as far as you can. It won't go all the way in, so you notice there's some cork still sticking up. There should be, but if you're putting your reed in the oboe, and it looks like this, where there's a lot of cork, I can guarantee you there's too much. So really push it in. If the reed does not want to go in, just like we talked about cork greasing, the different cork parts on your oboe when you're putting it together, you can cork grease the reed, but do not put cork grease all the way up the cork, because just like we said, we don't want it to get wet when we soak it. If you cork grease the top, then it's gonna be all slippery and you're not gonna be able to put it in or take it out. So once you get it in, the check is to get it on straight, which I swear is most of the battle of getting a reed in the oboe. For me, I line up the edge blade with these rods on the side that are for my octave keys. But one surefire way is to form your hand position, put your thumbs behind it, get ready, and just rest the reed on your bottom lip. And feel, does it feel straight? If you feel like you're having to, twist it or do something for the reed to be flat on your bottom lip, then go ahead and try and turn the reed. Sometimes it's easier to turn it if you pull the reed out a bit and then twist it from there. So once you get the reed on straight, we're ready to go. So now you have the full oboe put together from reed to bell. So what you're gonna do, this first note we're gonna learn is your B natural. If right now you don't know what a B natural is, it's okay, we will get there. But what you wanna do is get your good hand position. B natural is, I like to do it as our first note because it's just our first finger. So your other fingers are just gonna float, but your first finger on your left hand is gonna press. And you're gonna do all the good embouchure stuff we did. You're gonna do that ooh and pull that bottom lip down, and you're gonna do your prepare, set, release, and we're gonna get a beautiful first note. So if you breathe and try it, this is your B natural. Did you get a sound? Let's try it again. That's it. If you didn't get a sound right away, remember when we were talking about making a sound just on the reed. When you're playing just on the reed, you only have to get this far. Now you gotta get at least through to where that finger is for that B natural. So I want you to still pretend you're blowing down that wall, and I think that'll help. So let's try that again, and maybe if you got a sound the first few times and you're wanting to do something a little trickier, let's try articulating 4 Bs. Did it work? If not, go back to practicing on the reed, and as soon as you get it where the reed feels good and you can make a sound just on that, put the reed in the oboe and let's give it a try. Now, if the B is already happening, you're like, okay, I got it, Miss Bosma, we're ready to go. We're gonna go to your next note, which is your A. So this is B. If you're guessing that your A is just 1 and 2, you would be correct. This is the note actually that the oboe plays. If you've been to an orchestra concert or you've watched a video of an orchestra and you hear that someone in the woodwind section plays a note for everyone to tune to, that's us, the oboe tunes the orchestra, and it's an A. So now let's try that. That's it. Does your embouchure still feel good? Do we have ooh or them pulling down? And are you making sure you're starting with our air set? So remember one thing, if your air is not set, if your tongue's not set behind the reed and the air is not behind it, you're gonna hear this sound before you start. You'll hear that, and we don't want that, that's gross. So we wanna just hear bam, sound right away. Now in this video, we're just gonna add one more note, which is your G, which if you're guessing that it's 1, 2, 3, you would be correct. So just 3, and on our right hand, just keep those fingers hovering close. It's all good, and make sure your thumbs are always behind your octave keys and resting on the thumb rest. Let's try that one again. That one's a little lower, so we want to make sure we're not too tight with our jaw. What I always tell students is we want to feel like we're hugging. That's that ooh, that you're hugging the reed like you like it. You're not squishing it flat like a pancake. So if your G's not coming out or it's doing a high kind of squeaky thing, I want you to think from the back of your jaw, like you're maybe just slightly opening your mouth a little bit. And that's your B, A, G. With those 3 notes, you can play Mary Had a Little Lamb. You can play Hot Cross Buns. There are all sorts of tunes you can play. So I would say have some fun with it. Maybe make up a song, or if you find a song you can play, let me know what it is.